Hey y'all, it's Toni. We're back for part 2 of Jennifer Allen, the owner of Just Elope. Her interview, so bomb. I told y'all about her on the last episode. Y'all should probably go back and look at that. But since we doing this, I'm gonna tell y'all what she does. She has a company called Just Elope where she's doing fly weddings on smaller budgets, because I'm sure the range is varying, but it ain't gonna cost you what it would cost you to do a Pinterest wedding, right? And so she's launching a podcast and she's gonna tell you all about that. But for now, we're gonna hop into part 2, okay? Y'all ready? Okay. So you said most people lack discipline, yes. Right? Okay.
And that's the biggest thing. You people, you hear on social media like, oh, you can work from wherever. If you own your own business, you can have your off days. My office today is the beach. And they create this glamorous effect of like, what it means to own your own business and work for yourself. And that's just not the case.
It's like, and maybe you can be at the beach, but they're not saying, oh, this 10 years in.
Right. That's not every day, because first of all, you need to be able to afford to go to the beach.
Let's start there.
Yes. So, you got to be able to afford to go. You have to be consistent. You have to get up every day and work your business. Yeah. Because when you have a job, if you go to work and you are, halfway doing what you're supposed to do, doing just enough to get by, then you're still going to get paid, because you have mastered the art of
looking like you're doing something.
Looking busy.
Right.
Doing that in your business will expose you every single time. Baby. It will show if you put in the work. It will show if you put in the effort and if you didn't. Yep. And I think that is what people are not necessarily prepared for, is just because you have a website don't mean people checking for you or know who you are or what you do because you got an Instagram.
It don't mean, it's first it means something, then it's like, it's so many other people that are actually doing the
hard work.
Yes, that it's like, oh, they're not. It's a whole
hard work beats talent. You've been told that since you was a kid. Hard work beats talent every single day, and every day I get up, I run my business. Whether that was while I was still working, getting up before I went to work to map out my day, respond to emails. On my lunch break, working, come home, get the kids situated, working again, because you had to have a plan. Right. Like if you just getting up winging it every day, like my kids don't deserve a wing it life.
Listen, it's weird because I have never, I think maybe twice in my whole life, probably for a total of 6 months, worked like a real job. Like I've always been an entrepreneur from however old, you know what I mean? And so I've lived a winged life, right? Yeah. But I'd be like, dang, I'm probably just gonna have to quit winging it because, and then you'll get traction off of, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm sure your husband doesn't wing it.
Oh, baby, he don't.
And see, that is what people don't
which I
get.
benefit from. Like, baby,
100%.
Don't you start winging it.
Listen, my husband is not a winging person. Right. He just graduated from college last week. Well, last month. Oh. Yes, he just got it. He's a business analyst, and so he's always been like, he always tells me like he is the floor. He's like, I'm trying to continue to raise our floor up so that you can keep going and getting us to where we have to be. He's like, because your earning potential is unlimited. Right. He's like, no matter how good of a job I have, these people are only going to pay me what they want to pay me. Right. And so he's like, but your earning potential is unlimited. And so his thing is, I want to raise the floor so that you can continue, we can just keep elevating. But having a strong support system is the reason why I get to be this cool person that people see. Oh, you were on Netflix. Oh, you were this. Oh, you got to do this.
Absolutely.
That's because if I don't make a dime to tomorrow,
ain't nobody gonna starve.
Mr. Allen gonna pay them bills.
He gonna pay them bills, and y'all gonna eat. The kids ain't gonna be looking like, what we gonna do?
We can't go to camp. We can't go to camp no more.
Same. Yes.
So I know that, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
And I am aware of how valuable that is. And I don't take it for granted when I speak about being able to be an entrepreneur full time.
Yeah, like I talked about this with two of my guests last week. Lots of times people just don't tell the truth.
Right.
They give the warm and fuzzy version of it, like just simple stuff like doing what I do, and I do a million things, and whatever. But it was a challenge for me once I had kids, because I'm at home and my stuff is set up at home, YouTube, whatever, to not go clean up the kitchen,
right,
instead of, right, I had to just keep walking past, like, don't stop and don't be vacuuming and stuff on work time. You ain't gonna be vacuuming at, you know what I'm saying, if you were at a regular job, you know what I mean? But it takes time to reprocess all of that stuff. So you talking 100%
people don't want to be
facts.
honest in the sense of with all of the like women empowerment lunches and brunches and let me tell you how you can make XYZ, but they're not talking about like the benefactor. It's kind of like when people go on vacation and they don't show the dude face. Like they just like this with no facts. Oh my God. Yes. You like, girl, say somebody paid for that, but you got us thinking, you know what I'm saying? You out here getting it out the mud.
Like, and you're not.
You
and it's
getting
fine.
It.
Right.
And that's fine because we all giving it.
Right.
It's all,
yes,
married or not.
Yes. But
you paying.
You right.
It is a currency.
Yes, and the thing is it's okay, and I understand it. Probably sometimes they'll show him like, well, I ain't trying to just let him out the bag yet, but it's like it's the non-spoken, the unspoken, that confuse people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, somebody else. I know if you feel like she sold this many pair of shoes, right, so she can go to Dubai. Wrong answer.
That's not
it. It's more to it than that.
Did you know that she had somebody to front her inventory so that she could do XYZ, and you are a single mom with 2 kids and you just spent your last on this ebook for her to tell you, okay, well, all you got to do is get on Alibaba or AliExpress, find you a vendor, and then it's like, that's not really how that goes. But I think that social media gets people so caught up in the fast turnaround of, okay, and because there are success stories where somebody literally blows up overnight. People go viral, and the dude with where the money reside.
What? Blow up overnight.
His video took off. He started getting all these things. That's an anomaly.
And probably if you talk to him, he can tell you some raggedy spots like,
this wasn't overnight. I've been making these money reside videos for 4 years.
For 4 years. And once I got it, I hit some, because I didn't really know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So it's zero up. You know what I mean? So people you so right. That is an anomaly.
It is.
That doesn't really happen like that.
And even when people get money, and I can attest to this, because when the pandemic hit, it blew my business out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I was Diddy.
Baby.
Like what y'all need?
Bottles, and I ain't talking about Moet.
I ain't talking about Moet. What y'all need? Because mama is a ballin'. Do you hear me? I'm like, I have never seen this much money in my bank account in my life.
Right.
And I was spending it like water.
Yes, that's the way it works.
And then one day I looked up and I was like, where the water at? Because I'm thirsty. Where the water at? And so I had to realize, like, okay, life can be feast or famine.
Woo, baby. And that's typically the way entrepreneurship works. And you got a plan.
And I'm like, thank the Lord that I had a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Because I was out here spending money like I was a dope boy.
Listen.
And I'm like, this has to stop. And I end up listening to this interview with Fantasia, and she was saying how she went broke twice.
It don't take much.
She was like, she had a driver and this and that. She's like, I had to stop all of that. And I realized, like, people get money and we tell ourselves that we deserve these nice things and that we should have these things. But the reality is what we deserve is a life to where tomorrow we're not having to worry about the next day.
And and it's like, and you just forget, like, it's like, I deserve this, or the thought process. You treat yourself, or the thought process is, oh, I'm doing it, it's gonna always be this way. I'm gonna always make money like this. Like,
no.
Well, and life just don't work that way.
No, I had my first $30,000 month. Mm-hmm. Rodeo Drive, please. Where
Rodeo me, please.
Please, I'm going to buy a Chanel bag because I done made 30 bands this month.
Right. And then you go like,
yeah.
When you look back, you be like, no, what I do that?
Yeah.
Why?
And my husband was like, you are not buying a Chanel bag.
Listen.
What are you? And the month ended and I saw, oh my God, I've made $30,000 this month. I'm like, we're rich.
We're rich, but
we're wealthy.
And then you be like, it's something like, and I can attest to that because, we're in the, my husband's business is the real estate business. He owns title companies. And so real estate was very much so flourishing in the, you know what I mean? And, we make good decisions and try to, but it is very tempting to be
100% because
real crazy with it.
If I didn't have my husband to be like, for us to talk stuff through, and I was like, dude, I was about to buy a Camel the other day. Like
a Camel with a little pair of boots on. A Camel with boots. Like
boots with the fur. I was going to get a Camel with boots with the fur because it's $30,000 in the bank. Like,
and it's like, and there will be a time.
Yeah.
When you look back and go, girl, you remember how I was so hype about that $30,000?
Oh, right. And so
because you probably already know now, like
right. And so it's like, but it taught me that when you make money and you don't have any type of financial literacy, that's why people lose money so fast.
Yes,
because you don't have the maturity,
right, to
say, okay, well, we should probably pay this off. We should pay for this. Let's put this in savings. We don't never know what's gonna happen here and there. If I was married to less of a man,
oh baby,
we would have been poor.
Yes.
Because if I was married to somebody that would have been like, spend it, blow it. I got money to blow.
Yes.
We would have been like, I'm like, look, next Lil Wayne video, shoot it at my house.
Yes.
Like, cause
listen,
I got $30,000 in the bank. Like, right, it's never going away, right? Like, that money started trickling, baby.
And you be like, like, what didn't we just have? Like,
what happened to the money?
I mean, and it's like when that kind of stuff happens, it's like, soon as it's over with, and the money get funny, it's like, so the air conditioner, do it feel hot in here together?
I'm like, what's going on?
That's gonna be 25, and you done spent it, and you looking at this Chanel bag,
you like, what is this? What is going on?
Sweating in the house with no air conditioner.
Yeah, so it's like the pandemic was so good for us. We were making all this money. We bought a house. We had another baby. We got in the house. I'm like, look, I want this. I'm like, swipe. And it was a great feeling, right? But then my husband and I both were just like, okay, cool.
We got to relax.
That's enough. Like, right. Let's build it back up, And so it's like, I really do give him the credit in the sense of, if I was married to less of a man, my life would be totally different than what it is now. And I think that everybody want to say, I did it by myself. There's no way.
Nobody does anything by themselves.
Nobody does anything by themselves.
I don't care if you just use the Kinkos. That was not by yourself.
Everybody needs.
Everybody
right?
needs.
And it has, I'm thankful that the levels that we've been able to get to with our business. I married to Brad and Judy.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about that. How did you secure that deal?
So in 2019, I actually won a Judy Mentor Me contest.
Got it.
She did an Instagram thing. Was like, I'm picking one person to mentor in 2019. Upload your video, blah, blah, blah. And she ended up picking me. Not a whole lot came from that because her life at that point, her social media like took off.
Yes.
She became the busiest person in the world. And she was like, look, you have complete access to me. You have my personal phone number. You need something, text me, call me. I'm gonna get back to you as soon as I possibly can.
Right.
So I've always appreciated that relationship
because that's a big deal,
right? And I respected that it wasn't going to be I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna walk through this. It's like, tell me what you're trying to do, and I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on whether I think it's a good idea or not. Right. And when it came time for them to get married, I just really appreciated her just even putting me in that space. to be on that type of platform.
Yeah.
Because they could have picked anybody, right?
They could have picked anybody.
And so Donnie McClurkin could have married them, somebody. Kirk Franklin. Like,
anybody. They could have picked anybody.
It could have been T.D. Jakes. It could have been anybody,
It could have been anybody, yeah.
And so it's like to know that they picked me, I was really appreciative of that opportunity. Mm-hmm. I found out 11 days prior to the wedding that I would be there officiating. Their wedding was crazy. I literally was like, okay, great. So where is the wedding going to take place? And their planner, Ellie, who is amazing, she was like, girl, we don't got a venue yet.
You be like,
I'm like, huh? It's
in
11 days, right? Today's the 11th. The wedding is on the 22nd.
Right.
And so she's like, yeah, I got it. And when I say she had it, she had it. And I asked her, I said, is this the norm for you? She like, Jennifer, there's no way I could operate if this is my normal.
Baby.
She's like, this is not normal.
Yeah.
And so, but it was beautiful. They had a great wedding. People often ask me, is that real, the way they act towards each other? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that is how they love on each other, treat like that is the normal thing.
That's dope. For
them. And so that was a great experience. And then I did Netflix Love is Blind.
Got it. I haven't seen that.
So I did season 3. They filmed here in Dallas.
Okay.
My couple was SK and Raven.
Okay, so I need to look that up.
You need to watch it. I won't. For those of you who've seen it, you know what happened.
Yes,
but I didn't know what happened until because I found out the day prior.
Got it. Okay.
So it was Sunday. They sent me an email saying time sensitive, filming for a Netflix show.
Got it.
So I'm opening the email up. I'm like, what in the spam?
Right.
I'm like, what is this? And no, it was legit.
So it's 3rd season. Mm-hmm. What episode? Do you know?
10.
10. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
And so they're like, are you available to shoot tomorrow? We need an officiant, blah, 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 blah. The one that we had backed out. Are you available? And so this was June 2021 is when we filmed. I had just had my baby March 29th.
Okay.
So I still had my birthing braids in. Y'all,
you'd be like, let me see if I can smooth these edges
I'm like, it was a whirlwind. It was a Sunday. Everything closed at 6.
Got it.
I had to find something to wear, take my braids down, get my hair done, get my nails done, do all this stuff, nursing a baby in the process. It was a marathon. But between me, my husband, my mama, and my best friend, we pulled it off.
And you know what? One of the things that that I think that people need to understand is because, again, like you, I'm the same where you have all of these ideas in your mind. And of course you can't do them all at the same time. But if you were just still walking around with Just Elope in your head, so many opportunities you would have missed. People knew to call you because you were in the space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, here's a website, or heard from somebody else that you were doing something. But if you were waiting for everything to be perfect,
right,
or for you to have all the money to do it, or there would be a bunch of opportunities that you would have missed. So, and then just jumping out there, because to apply for the thing that you did with Judy, like, you could have just not, like, they ain't gonna never pick me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You go into this process of they're never gonna pick me, and it's like, you don't know what's gonna happen.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Who's gonna see it. I don't remember the guy's name, but I read this article about a guy who said that he started a YouTube. He had maybe like 30 views a month.
I know exactly who you're talking. I'm tell that story often now.
30 times a month, 30 views
and
a
you
month.
Like, that's my mom and them.
Yeah.
And Oprah.
And Oprah.
You'd be like, you only getting 30 and Oprah.
And Oprah.
We think you're perfect for the, like, do what now?
And
you absolutely thinking, that's my mama, my auntie, and my kids watching that. And it's like, no, and you know what? And that is a story that was super encouraging to me, because when you're used to seeing certain numbers or getting it's easy to be like, don't nobody want to, but it's like, you never know who watching.
Of course.
Like, you have no clue, right?
Yes.
So, yes, I'm glad.
And it's such an encouraging thing, because, like, you know what? I'm just going to do it, keep going, keep putting it out there, and let it become what it becomes. And it may evolve into something else. And I think that's the part that people forget is, like, are you willing to do the hard work? Everybody
when you ain't getting paid for it, when you ain't getting no clients, when you ain't You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is difficult, but it's the same thing with being married. Are you willing to do the hard work when it's not cute?
Because, baby, let me tell y'all something. It's going to be some days where you be like, but you got to push through.
Oh, gosh.
I always be like, unless he beating you or cheating you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then sometimes,
exactly.
Not the beating.
Yeah.
But, people go through stuff. That hadn't been my, but
right.
you know what I mean?
God.
Like, just, you got to push through because you ain't going to do nothing but start all over and figure out they throw it too. So you might as well just work it out with keep the crazy already.
Keep the crazy
See what I mean?
It is because it's always something that you're gonna have to navigate, whether it's in business, with your kids, being married, with yourself.
Always.
And I think that just being comfortable with who you are and not who social media says you have to be. Like, this really big thing right now is the soft life. I'm living my soft life. Yes. Well, that looks different for everybody.
That look different for because honestly, every time I see it, I be like, dang, I think I've always lived the soft life. Like,
correct.
I've been in the soft life for a while.
Correct. Like, if my biggest issue right now is
picking up the kids from camp and what I'm gonna
stressing about, man, I got to make sure I get there by 2:00 to pick my kids up.
Baby, that's the soft life.
Or what's for dinner.
That's the soft life.
The soft life. I'm not worried about about that mortgage, about that grass being cut. I couldn't even tell you what day the grass being cut. I just know I walk outside, I'm like, man, the grass
look good. They did new flowers this week. Oh, that's great.
That is some awesome stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, is what you call the soft life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it looks different
for everybody.
Because some people, it's like soft life is, I don't have to work overtime no more.
Right.
This weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the soft life for them.
Correct.
And so you do have to, and when you're looking at the social media situation, you do have to
take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Don't base your life on a meme or a reel.
Because it's a lot of context
that's
left out of all of that stuff.
Yes.
You can't really get a whole point across with all the nuance in 2 lines. Like, it's just...
If your husband didn't bring you a big bouquet of flowers this week, but you went in the kitchen, you cut the light on, and it just soft came life. On...
That's somebody's soft life.
That's somebody's soft life. Yes. If you didn't have to put the kids to bed, everybody's life is different.
It's different.
And I think that figuring out what's best for you and your family dynamic is the way to go, instead of saying, well, look at this nice thing that she did for him or he did for her.
And that's great. Right. But one of the things I say all the time is comparison is the thief of joy.
Every time.
When you comparing yourself, it will zap your joy so bad. Like, it's like, why? Now, why are you? And then, you know what? Sometimes when you're looking at stuff, let's just say marriage, since we talking to Just Elope today, you comparing yourself and stressed out about a thing and don't even know that you living a way better life.
Oh, 100%. We are living in the things that we prayed for and don't even want to really acknowledge that.
Because you're looking at somebody else like, yeah, but he dragging her every, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the thing is. It's like, she got the car and she got that, but she not happy.
Right.
But it look good on Instagram though. Like, you know what I mean? And it's so you have to be careful with the comparison because that'll have you all the way jacked up. So let's do this. Let's talk about, when you tell me, I'm excited about this podcast. I'm a podcast junkie. And I want to know about don't tell me the name of it. Wedding to Wife.
Yes.
That's a bomb name. Let's start there.
Thank you.
Tell me about it.
So back in 2019, I had the idea of I wanted to interview wedding professionals to find out, okay, why is bridal makeup so much more expensive than regular makeup?
That's a good question.
Because I'm like, y'all using special brushes, wedding brushes?
These is wedding brushes.
Right, like, girl, you don't even understand.
Right.
You know, or why is it that certain floral costs more? Is our silk flowers the best route to go? Is that more cost effective?
Right.
Like, I really wanted to break down why things cost what they cost. Like, why don't vendors post their pricing? Why do I have to inquire to get a price? Because no matter what, you have a base level that you charge, no matter what.
Right.
And so I also wanted to dive into, well, what happens after the ring? You get the ring, you're married, then what? How are you navigating this new normal? Because even if you've lived together, when you get married, people's expectations change. Yep. Because now you're my wife or you're my husband, so you should do certain things. So most people, when you ask them, well, what is the definition of a good wife or a good husband? They don't really know the answer to that. They just say, I want a good man. I want a good woman.
Again, it's a sliding scale.
What does that mean for you? I had a friend, she was like, I really hope my kids think I'm a good mom. And I'm like, well, what's your definition of a good mom? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, so how do you know that you're not a good mom?
Right. And that's fact, that's gonna be so. People need to know that kind of stuff. I'm gonna share this story. I've shared it on YouTube before. I got married. I told you I had all these guests in my wedding. Big reception with all the bomb food and prawns and ice sculptures and all of this stuff. Right. The first year I was married, I lost all my hair. I went bald. I was like Fire Marshal Bill. If you remember who that was from. Yes. Yes. I was like, what is happening? But such a huge transition for me to move and leave all my friends. I was homesick. Everything was new. And it was just a lot, right? But people don't even now. Most people ain't gonna lose their hair, right? But
so it was from stress.
It was from stress, and it was from. Well, I was on a birth control patch too, so it was a combination, right? But just the fact that, and I remember crying like, "Oh my God!" He was like, "It's okay." Right. I was like, "You didn't sign up to have a bald-headed wife." Right. That's all. You know what I mean? Right. So it's so much adjusting in the wife and husband life. Period, but people don't talk much about that. They talk about the floral arrangements and the number of bridesmaids and what the dresses are. Yes, all of those things. So the fact that you're going to put it out there and break it in. And also the cost of wedding. That is going to be great too.
Yeah, because people don't talk about money is so taboo, right? How much you spent, how much is this? People don't want to discuss those things, but it's like, why not?
Why?
But a lot of it is that people think that if you know what they spent on something, then that's going to open you up to ask them for something. So they don't like to. I have one of the brides that I'm interviewing. She's like, we could talk about certain parts of my wedding, but I don't want to give the full cost breakdown of what I had. She said, because I don't need people all in our pockets.
Yes, like where
that's sad.
That's sad. It is. And then so it's going to give that part. You need to talk about, people need to hear about the money. In addition, people need their expectations set. My cousin is a caterer and she does high-end stuff. She's in Oklahoma, but people's expectations be so thrown off. It's so you thought you was going to feed 250 people
with $400.
Or they say stuff like, my cousin can, it's just chicken. Baby, we not just paying for the chicken. And
how much grapes cost?
You know how much grapes cost? And you know how much of my time I'm going to have to spend to fry this chicken or whatever it is that you... Yeah. People need to understand...
Inflation is a real
thing.
And time. And when the more accolades you get behind... Doctors go to school and they get these letters behind their name and they make the big bucks and they can charge the big things. When you are an entrepreneur, the more you accomplish and the more you do, when you get these things behind your name. When DJ Khaled said that yesterday's price is not today's price,
he meant that.
When I did the news and Netflix and then Judy and DeBrat and WeTV and all these other things, those are my letters coming behind my name, right?
Those are the letters. WeTV is the letters.
Right. Netflix is the letters. Right. So it's put some respect on that.
My name. Yeah.
And how else do you get the experience in the time? We've married almost 400 couples.
You put the time in.
Right.
You have the experience. I know what I'm doing at this point.
Correct. I can literally, yes. So,
I know you got some stories. I know you got some stories.
It's but understanding and appreciating, you're paying for a peace of mind as well. So going with a professional is going to give you that peace of mind to know all I have to do is get myself there and everything else is going to be taken care of. We like to treat our couples like this is an all-inclusive resort.
Yeah.
All I need you to do is show up. We're going to take care of you from top to bottom, and then you can go on about your business.
So what is the biggest, because I'm sure you don't take every client that come to you. What has been the craziest consultation experience where somebody, or maybe I should say, so you won't, because I'm sure you could dime somebody out, but what has been what's the biggest misconception that you hear from brides and grooms when it comes to weddings or cost wise?
I think that really the biggest thing is, the biggest reason I've turned somebody away is that what they truly want is not what I offer.
Got it.
And they would be settling if they went with me because that's not truly their desire. While we're on that call and you're telling me how you've always dreamed of XYZ, but you are going to just go ahead and do this and then you'll do something big later, I'll tell everybody the same thing. Later may not come. I got married July 27, 2010. I have not had a wedding yet. We had a full vow renewal planned for our 10-year vow renewal. What's 10 years after 2010?
20. Over.
What happened in 2020?
Pandemic. So it's like, dang, we had intentions, but it still ain't happened.
Intentions, it still didn't happen. We had a full vow renewal planned in Mexico, all our friends coming out, so on and so forth, and boom, the pandemic hits.
It's like,
so that later may not never come, and so it's like you have to treat this time like if this never happened again, this is going to be good. It's almost like losing your virginity. If you do it in the back of the car for the first time, just because you do it in a hotel bed the next time, don't change the fact that you lost it in the back of the car.
It's still there.
It don't matter if you light a candle on round 2.
The first time is the first time.
The first time is the first time.
Like that's just that on that. Like
so, when you get married, the first time is the first time.
Yes.
And that doesn't. And I want people to realize, like, we will give you this beautiful experience, but if it's not what you want and you feel like you're settling, you're gonna nitpick it to death.
Nitpick it to death.
So I can't do this, and then what about that, and what about that? And it's like, but that's not what the service is,
right?
Right. So it's like you go to a Chinese food restaurant and you're like, okay, well, so y'all don't have any steaks in the back, so where is the barbecue? Like, so where is the
like, baby,
master?
you at the wrong restaurant. Just go to a different restaurant. It's not.
Just go somewhere else.
Just go somewhere else. And I'm not gonna be offended because I'm not gonna be able to deliver that.
Go get what
to
you
your
want.
Satisfaction. Yeah.
Go get what you want, and that's okay. And so I've told many of brides, you know what? This isn't what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And my husband will catch like the tail end of the conversation. She's like, girl, don't be in there telling them people this ain't what they want.
Yeah, like, nah, we telling them that because then they're going to be on Google. It was a horrible experience.
Correct. I felt rushed. Yeah. I felt this. I felt that.
Yeah.
Or if I get on the phone with brides and they're like, I'm really not a morning person and my people always late. And I'm like, well, baby, you might want to do something else because we are together max for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
If you're late,
we're
still together for an hour and a half.
We're still together for an hour and a half, whether you there or not.
Yeah. So if your wedding ends at 2 and you get there at 1:30,
it's ending at 2.
We're leaving at 2. When I think for some people that's a hard concept because when you think of weddings, you always think they never start on time.
Right.
People are always late. People are always rushing, and so that's one of the things that does not apply to our business.
Right.
We are popping into these luxury venues that under normal circumstances, if you had a full-fledged wedding there, it could cost you upwards of $20,000.
Yes.
But because we're coming in and getting a 2-hour slot, then we're only paying a fraction of that. So you're literally getting the venue, the officiant, the photographer, a day of court coordinator for $3,000.
Yeah.
Whereas they charge $3,000 just to cut the light on.
Yeah.
So you have to be on time,
no chairs,
right?
No sandwiches,
right? You have to be on time for what we're doing
to work,
right? In order for it to work. And when I see through a conversation that's probably not going to happen with this person based on what they're saying, I will politely break it down to them. This may not be your best bet.
Yeah. And you've done enough weddings to be able to spot who it's gonna work for and who it ain't gonna work for.
When you get to talking about my cousin can do.
I'm not the one.
Don't call your cousin.
Gonna call your cousin, baby. I ain't it. Like, and it's like no knock. I hope.
Right, your cousin probably dope.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, I've had that. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Say less. I already know what you're talking about. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go into this or that. Okay. So let me see. We're gonna make this in the context of weddings. I didn't write it down for the context. Outside or inside wedding?
Inside.
Hey, okay. So in your personal life, would you rather cook at home or go out?
Go out.
Okay.
I'd rather my husband cook at home. I'm sorry. Because you said me, and I'm like, hold on. I want to go out.
I see you got on fly shoes.
Yeah.
Do you like sneakers or
sneakers?
Heels. Okay. What's your favorite sneaker brand? Is it though?
Yeezys, actually. They are so comfortable.
Got it.
Not because they cute. Right. They just so comfortable.
They comfortable. She got on fly J's today, y'all. Just FYI. Okay. Hotel or Airbnb?
Hotel.
Okay. Dresses or pants?
Dresses.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Yeah.
Do not green bubble me.
I know. Call or text?
At all. Text.
Text, okay.
Voice notes.
Voice notes, okay. Late nights or early mornings?
Late nights.
Okay. And do you prefer destination elope weddings or in town?
In town. You can control the narrative a lot more.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it so much. This was so good. Y'all get prepared to watch her podcast. It's going to be so good.
I'm going to need y'all to come on there because y'all been married 19 years.
We there. Let us know when y'all ready. Yes, this has been so good. I appreciate you so much for sharing your wisdom about just starting a business and giving people the real stuff because that's important. Even just because any business is going to take some discipline and it's going to take some realism, right?
Yes.
So I will see y'all again soon. Give me your Instagram. We're going to put it at the bottom of the screen. I told you we fancy.
Okay.
My guy can put the words at the bottom.
Okay. So my personal Instagram is I am Jennifer Allen. Okay. And our business Instagram is Elope LLC.
Elope LLC.
Yes.
Okay. We'll see y'all again on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.